Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, so I did this whole introduction and I forgot to press live again. I got to get better, y'all. Gotta get better. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I said good morning to everybody. I said Jasmine said, I said question of the day. Jasmine said, did y'all do your homework? I did all of that and then I looked and I realized I wasn't live. So we're going to do it again. Y'all going to see it for the first time. I'm doing it for the second time. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see who's in the room. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Sandra. Good morning, Lois. Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning, Sandra. Good morning, Crystal. Happy Tuesday, Jasmine. Did y'all do your homework? Good morning, Betty Rose. Good morning, Trina. Good morning. Good morning, Chantel. Good morning. Good morning. Curls apart. They trying, right? They trying. I took those twists out that I had, and then I realized how, because I didn't put anything on it, so they were like this. So I had to try to tame it a little bit, but I did something. Normally it's in a pullback ponytail, so I did something. So question of the day, did you guys do your homework? Before that, I want to know how everybody is doing. How are you doing out there today? I want you to say I'm blessed in the chat, of course. How are you doing this amazing Tuesday, sunny-ish morning? How you guys doing this morning? How are you doing this morning? It's not a ponytail, right? It's one up there, but it ain't way back there. So I still got a ponytail, but yes. I'm making the effort, right? I'm making the effort. That's all. That's all I can ask. As y'all know, I've been wearing a ponytail as long as we've been doing coffee with Nikki, except for what, one time when I had my hair out, probably two. I've always had a ponytail, just straight slick back ponytail. But I'm going to try to do better, you guys. I'm going to try to do better. So, yes, everybody, put I'm blessed in the chat. So I want to know, have you done your homework? Your homework should look something, I don't know what I spoke on this, but your homework should look something like this. Your fears, and you can put it in 3 columns, right? Because that was easy. Your fears, what's the worst that could happen, and what's the best that could happen. Good morning, Candace. How you been, girl? Me and my ponytail as well. I'm telling you, I'm trying because I won't comb inside. I will only comb around where the ponytail is going to show. I don't even comb what I wrap it up and I twist it and I stick it in the bun. I don't even comb that. I'm blessed. I got my whooping early this morning. Yes, yes, yes. I did my homework and I posted a piece of content. Good. Filming content tonight is going to be a great day. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Either a ponytail or a wig. Now, let me tell you, I would wear a wig in a minute, but let me tell you, I take that thing off quick, fast, and in a hurry. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. That way it comes right off. I don't care where I'm at. It'll be sitting right there in the back seat. Doing good. Your eye event was a success. Good, 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 good. I know I'm missing some information because it says my no eye event. So, but I see that my holiday event. Okay, I'm like, I see there's some stuff missing. I can't figure that one out. My holiday event was a success. Awesome, awesome, awesome. No, ma'am, I was running nonstop yesterday and crashed. I will do it now, but I want to thoroughly think about it. Okay, okay. You don't know what one of your major fears are, so you don't. Think about it right this second. I'm going to give everybody a second to go write down on a piece of paper your top fear. If you didn't do your homework, good morning, Deltra. Good morning, Yolanda. Did you guys do your homework? So everybody, if you did your homework, put 1s in the chat. If you did not do your homework, put a 2. Put a 1 if you did and a 2 if you did not. I need to, I should probably use somebody's stuff for my hair. Whatever. 180, Tiffany. Tiffany don't be playing, y'all. Tiffany do not be playing. Jasmine did. Yes, Jasmine. Miss Lois did it. Vernita did it. Trina, we know she said she was running. Okay. So right now, while we're waiting, I want you to take your top fear and I want you to write that down. What's your top fear? What's the worst that could happen? What's the best that could happen? Deltra did. All right, y'all. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And if anybody wants to be pulled up, I'll pull you up so that we can do it live in real time so that you know, I don't have to wait for you to chat back to me. You could just do it. You don't have to turn your camera on. You could just come on and I could just hear your voice if you want to do it. Good morning, Sherelle. Good morning too. I've been going on it now. Got you. I missed yesterday, so no, too. Got you. Good morning, Kay. Good morning. This is what your homework should look like. It should be 3 columns. And it should be your fears in 1 column, what's the worst that could happen, and what's the best that could happen. Because we're trying to make the wolf smaller. Y'all see that white balance change? Look at, y'all see it? All right, y'all. So take your time right now. And while we're waiting for everybody to answer, put your top fear. You know what your top fear is because it's something that's majorly always stopping you. I'm sorry, I keep fixing my hair because I see it. I'm trying to I'm so not used to doing my hair. I'm like trying to tuck everything in. So your top fear, what's the worst that can happen and what's the best that could happen? Right? This is bothering me because it doesn't look uniform. I'm sorry, y'all. I tried. What's the best that could happen? What's the worst that could happen on your top fear? Do you fear success? Do you fear people won't like your product? Do you fear that you won't get received well? What do you fear? What do you fear? And if anybody would like to come up live with me, like I said, you don't have to turn your camera on. I mean, you don't have to turn your camera on, just talk. And we'll be able to get through that quicker as opposed to me waiting for you in the chat. I do that every time I do my hair like that, right? I'm like, all right, I feel better. And we're gonna rock with this. I'm gonna tuck this braid because this braid is down my neck. I'm gonna tuck this braid upside down in here. You won't see that. All right. Okay, we here. All right, so Betty Rose says my top fear is not succeeding in anything I put my hand on. All right, so Betty Rose, I know you're at work, so you're probably not going to be able. Are you at work, Betty Rose? I do that every time. Did you guys write your fears down? Did you guys write it? Even if you didn't do your homework yesterday, did you write it just now? Your top fear, top one. You don't have to write all of them. You can go back into this exercise and you can do this at a different time. You know what I'm saying? You could do it later today if you know, want to fill out the rest of it and see what your fears are so you can actually face them and make your wolf smaller. So, yes. All right. So Tiffany says, top fear is it won't be good enough and people won't like it. Okay, so let's go with Betty Rose. I think you're at work. So your top fear is not succeeding in anything you put your hand on. So what's the worst that could happen if you try something and you don't succeed? What's the worst that could happen? A lot of people have their fears are based on product base. Okay. Okay. What's the worst that could happen? And if anybody would like to chime in and go live with me, you don't have to turn your camera on. It just have to be your microphone and you can answer me in real time. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat. And if anybody would like to go live, just click it and it'll pop up into my queue and then I'll be able to add you up. So what's the worst that could happen, Betty Rose? Tiffany says top fear is that your product is not going to be good enough and people won't like it. What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen, Tiffany? Yolanda says people not receiving my products well. And what's the worst that could happen with that? What's the worst thing, the worst possible scenario you could picture? What is the worst thing that could possibly happen? Worst, continue working my 9 to 5. Right. So what's the best thing that could happen? Betty Rose, what's the best thing that could happen? Kay says mine is failure. Failure in business, failure is it overall failure? Kay? Worst case, nobody buys. Okay. What's the best scenario for that? If this does work, because like everybody is about saying this, everybody is saying the same thing, kind of. So if it does work, what's the best thing that could happen? Because if the worst thing, if they don't buy, I make no money and there's no point to continue my business. But if you have that mindset, what's the best that could happen? What if they do buy and you do make a lot of money and you are successful? What's the best that could happen? Overall. Okay, so come on, Kay. What's the worst that could happen? If you fail, what's the worst that could happen? My fear is not knowing what's next to grow my business. Okay. All right, Trina. And what's the worst that could happen with that? Best thing, pivot and keep going and creating. Okay. So my fear is overthinking and comparing myself to other and talking myself out of my business. Okay. And what's the worst that could happen? If you talk yourself out of business, what's the worst thing? What's the worst scenario that could possibly happen? And Betty Rose, what's the best thing? The best thing is that you could, the best thing, pivot and keep going and creating. So then you would drop your 9 to 5. My fear is not being able to fulfill product orders. That's a good problem, girl. That's a good fear. But what's the worst that could happen, Lois? What's the worst that could happen? If they do buy, then I fear I can't keep up with demand. I have too many fears. You have layers. You have layers, but we need to attack those, right? So if they do buy, so you got a problem if they don't buy, and you got a problem if they do buy, right? So now you have to, now that you know that, now you can attack it, right? You know, you said, okay, if they buy, then your fear is that you can't keep up with the demand. Then if you can't keep up with the demand, all you have to do is think about it, work smarter, hire somebody, find somebody, family members, friends, people that will barter with you that could help you, right? Problem solved, right? Because that's a great problem to have. You want your products to sell out and you want to have like some kind of, not resistance, but you want to be able to have some challenge when you are trying to fill your orders, right? If you fill your orders and like, oh, I got 3 orders, I can fill it. Your goal is to have more than 3 orders every day, right? So if you set a goal and your goal is to set, like I have a goal for thousands of orders a day, right? I cannot personally do it. And that's me thinking I could take over everything and do everything myself. If my goal is to do thousands of orders a day, I am unable to do thousands of orders a day by myself. So I am going to have a team. So I'm going to have to step out of, I have to get out of my fear of having other people help me because they don't know what they're doing, and allow them to help me, because that is going to help me to hit my goal, right? I can't stand in my way saying I'm going to fulfill all these 1,000 orders. I'm going to burn myself out. How am I going to do 1,000 orders by myself in a timely manner? I don't, if I made 1 product or 2 products, then that may be simple, but I don't. And if my products were already made, shipped from somewhere else and they came in, then that could possibly be a thing. But if I'm making all my products and trying to ship, package and ship all my products and trying to get 1,000 orders a day and still be doing all those things in the process, I'm unable to do that. So I'm going to have to release my fears, and I'm going to have to let somebody else take, take the reins and do packaging, or at least give them a job. I'm going to have to delegate people in certain areas so that they can help me better, right? So they can help me fulfill these 1,000 orders better, right? So let me go back. Let me go back. Okay. All right. So I was kind of on Yolanda. So if that is the problem, that is an excellent problem to have. So now how can we fix that? How can we combat that so that in our minds, we're not sabotaging ourselves? We're not saying, I want the orders, but what if I can't fill them? You're sabotaging yourself because you're already thinking that you can't do something before you even try to do it in the first place. Right? So you will never know if you can't keep up with the demand if you never get the demand to keep up with. So you have to at least try it and see what's going to happen for you. And then if it should happen that you can't keep up with the demand, then perhaps you need to make bigger batches, because now we think about, okay, so this is the fear, but this is the best that could happen, and this is the worst that could happen. Now, what can I do so that I could be ready for when the challenge happens? What can I do so that I could be ready for when the challenge happens? What could you do, Yolanda? You could make more, right? Your batches can be larger. Hey, Miss Quell, your batches could be larger, right? You could have everything already made, and you could do a launch and you can count your inventory, and instead of making it to order, you can have your inventory set so when people order, it's already in the system, so you can't oversell. So you will always meet the demand because you will always have the product in stock. You will always have your jars and everything else. You'll always have that in stock because you did it by your inventory as opposed to doing it as to made to order. So you will always be able to fulfill that, right? So you can do that. Right? You can see who you can barter with. Maybe you have some family members, maybe you have some children that could come and they could help you with orders. Maybe they could package the set the boxes up for you, maybe put the tissue paper in there, put the samples in, put the orders in there, so all you have to do is pick and pack. Like, there are ways that you can actually make this work for you, but after you realize what your fears are and what the worst thing that can happen, because obviously nothing's going to happen that is going to kill you, right? So everybody's saying products and business, and what if it doesn't work, and you're saying that, but that's not going to kill you. That's nobody is going to come and say, oh, you didn't do it right, and they're going to kill you. You're not going to lose your life over that, right? So then once you realize that the fear is not that big, now you're saying, what's the best that could happen? So what if it doesn't work, but what if it does, right? So what if it does work? So what if you do get the demand? What if you do get all those orders in? That benefits you how, right? How does that benefit you? Let me see. Lloyd says fulfill products. Okay, can't keep up with demand. Best case, people like my products, increase confidence, increase production, money made, and business flourishing. So does your positives outweigh the negatives, Tiffany? Worst, you will lose customers. If your problem is, and I'm going to go to Miss Loyce, if your problem is that you're unable to fulfill products, then you give yourself a processing time and you let your customers know my processing time is 3 to 7 days, 1 to 2 days, whatever works for you, so that you can make sure that you can get that product out at enough time. Your processing time is going to give you that cushion, so your customers know that I'm not expecting this to go out the next day. I may be expecting this to go out within 3 to 7 business days, and that's when I know to expect something. And should you exceed your 3 to 7 days, you can always send out an email and say, or a text message, or a social media post, and say, Hey guys, we've had so many orders coming in. We thank you so very much. We appreciate every order. I just want you to know we are backed up a little bit, probably about a day or so, but your orders will be out as soon as possible. Please look for your emails and, for your tracking number or your shipping, whatever. If you do that, you give yourself a little cushion. So it doesn't look so bad once you look at it and say, oh, I could fix that. You know what I'm saying? You look at the worst and be like, oh, that's not really that bad, right? Because I'm not going to lose my house on this. I'm not going to lose my relationship on this. And nobody is coming to kill me. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like that is one of the worst possible things, right? So when you look at it and be like, oh, somebody might not buy it, then when you compare those two, it doesn't look so bad. And then when you see what's the best that can happen, then you might as well go ahead and try that, because the best is looking better. It outweighs your negatives, right? Your best outweighs your negatives. So look at what's the worst that could happen and then say, oh, but what's the best that could happen? What's the best? And if you never try, you'll never know. You'll never know if you don't try. All right. So, worse, you'll lose customers, losing everything, business, home, and money. And then you have to also get yourself out of that mindset. The mind, if you're fearful of everything and you holding on to everything so tight, guess what? It's going to go through your fingers. It's going to go through your fingers. Good morning, cousin. Good morning. It's going to go right through your fingers because you're holding on to it so hard, right? You got to put yourself out there and you have to try. You have to try. You have to try for the sake of yourself. You have to try for the sake of your business. You have to try for the sake of your home. You have to try for the sake of your finances. You have to try for the sake of your children. You have to try for the sake of legacy. You know what I'm saying? So you owe it to yourself to try. At least try. And if you do say, okay, well, I can't just do it based on just what I got coming in right now, and you may need something to supplement your income, but then you supplement, hey D, then you supplement your income, right? You supplement it until you're able to, your business can support your lifestyle, right? But it's not, yes, you may not know it's not reliable, but how does that feel on your heart? How does that feel on your heart? I don't have a choice but to keep my 9 to 5 until my businesses can successfully support me. Absolutely. Absolutely. But you have to be taking the steps. If you know that your goal is to get out of this 9 to 5, then you need to make a plan to get out of that 9 to 5. Right? So you need a plan to get out of that 9 to 5. The worst, I will lose customers. Deltra says, mine at the moment is raising my prices. It's a lot that I didn't factor in when I started selling. The worst is I'll lose some of my existing customers. Deltra, so if you get the prices that you want, right? And you lose some customers, but you get more at this price point because it's true and you're not fluctuating with your pricing, which is better? Keeping these customers or letting the other customers drop off because your product is not as low as they want them to be? If your products stay low, they're going to always expect you to have low price items, right? And it's a race to the bottom, and nobody wants a race to the bottom. I'm not going to beat you for the best price, right? I'm going to beat you for, my price is my price. They said my price is not the lowest, but I'm the best, right? There's a meme, not a meme, a sound going around, and he was like, don't come to me for the best, don't come for me for the lowest prices. Don't come for me for the best price. You want the job done, you want it done right, then that's what you want. You want me to do the job. Because if you do it and it's right, then you ain't got to worry about it, the next time. So let's say you raise your prices, Deltra. Inform everybody. So now we could look at it. So now that we know what your fear is, and then we know what's the best that could happen, right? We could look at it and say, how could we fix it? Right? So we could fix that by informing your customers that your prices have to increase because your cost of goods have increased. So I'm sorry to inform you guys. I would love to have kept my pricing at the same price, but unfortunately, I'm unable to do that because, our cost of goods have gone up, and so I am going to have to raise my prices. You will be surprised how many people will be okay with you. Excuse me, how many people will be okay with you raising your price? You're fearful that because I'm going to change my price, they might leave. But if you just tell them what's going on, you'll be surprised how many people are still going to rock with you. Right? But you got to try it and you got to do it so you could find out for yourself. Because then if there is a problem, then those are not your customers, right? Because your loyal customers are going to stick with you if your price increases or not. Again, I used to sell my brush soap for $19.99, right? My jumbo brush soap, it used to be $19.99. And then move my price point to $28.99. And the reason why I moved my price point up is because, again, cost of goods and also the quality of the product. I'm making a handmade product. I'm selling it like it's a freaking, a soap that you melt and pour soap. And I'm making this soap from scratch. So I'm selling it at a low price point. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm putting real goat's milk in this soap. I'm doing this. It's from scratch. I'm doing all of this. And I'm not valuing what I'm doing, and I'm not valuing the process with my pricing, right? Because I'm devaluing my stuff. So I said, no, 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 no. I had to let them know that I'm going to be increasing the pricing, and I'm also telling you the story as to why I'm doing it. It is handmade, it's made from scratch. I use real goat's milk. It's full goat's milk. It's not just a percentage. You know what I'm saying? Like that is, you have to inform your customers, because once you inform them, good morning, Danny. Good morning, Khalida. Once you inform them, they can make the decision for themselves. And if they go, it's okay. They may come back, right? But give them the option. Give them the option to do that, right? So that, just think about it and say, you got to check your pricing, fix it, and let them know that you're increasing it. Send them an email, send them a text message, say it online, get on live and say it so that they can actually see you, so they can see they could see how genuine you are, and that they won't feel like they being scammed. You know what I'm saying? Do that. It's easy peasy. They are going to be fine with it. I'm telling you, your customers will be fine. I will be able to hire someone or fulfill the orders later. As long as you fulfill them in a timely manner, Miss Lois, you won't be good. At best, I'll gain customers that don't mind paying my prices. Exactly. Then maybe I'll find out who my actual clientele is. Exactly. But you should know who that is already. But yes. Tiffany says, one of my fears was also not being able to keep up with demand, but I went through my inventory yesterday and found that I have over 200 vessels, and now I want to get rid of some. So that means you better get busy, girl. Start pouring some wax and get that wax in them vessels, girl. Hey, I said, hey, Miss Quell. Hey, Miss Quell. All right, so Trina says, the worst that can happen, I become old news because people aren't excited. Guess I can ask questions, do polls with customers, potential customers. That's the worst that could happen. So then if that's the worst that can happen, how can you counter that? So if that's the worst that can happen, the people, you become old news because you're not relevant and you're not saying anything. Well, how can you be relevant? How can you be on trend? How can you stay in front of them? How can you stay consistent with your content? How can you stay relevant with your products? How can you keep your products in the forefront of the people's mind? How can you do that? Right? So what could you do about that, Trina? I gave a suggestion, but what would you suggest for yourself to do? Double batches, hire people. I'm telling you, Yolanda, I'm telling you, that's a great problem to have. Great problem to have. I started making big batches. That's right. And you're doing events all the time. So you're going to, at least you have some extra. So if you want to bring some extra because the market is going to be bigger, Miss Lois, then you have that extra because you made extra, right? So you have that you can bring with you. If somebody said, oh, you know what? Remember you had that candle last week and I bought it from you at the market. Do you have any more of that? And you made extra. Guess you have that to give, so that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Also, using my inventory function on my site will ensure that I do not sell more than I have. I can always order more before that runs out. You sure can. And you can always do pre-orders. You can always do pre-order. So if you know that you ordered some vessels or some wax or some soap or some whatever, if you know that you purchased it and the order is processing and it's going to come on, it's on its way, you can pre-order. Right? You can set a pre-order. You can make a pic. You could do the products or whatever and say this is a pre-order and this is going out on that date. That way you're not losing money and you're not losing time. Right? Oh, all right, cousin. Cousin here for a quick minute. You in meetings today? Oh no, you gotta go to the dentist today. I think today's the dentist, right? Needed all of that advice. Thank you. All right, Chantel. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Message me about the vessels. All right. Vanita says procrastination. The worst thing that could happen. I won't be ready for doors that open when they present themselves. Best, I've created a sustainable business for my children, children's children. Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. And procrastination is the thief of joy. Procrastination is going to hinder you from learning and from growing, right? So as long as you are eating the frog, and that's a book that I suggest that you read if you have not read that yet. Eat the Frog, do the most difficult thing first, and then just make sure you do all the things, maybe even the 5-second rule. The 5-second rule is even when you don't feel like doing something, you give yourself 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get up and do it. And there's no answer there. You don't have time to think about it. You don't have time to, say, oh, I don't feel like it, or I don't do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get up and do it. Right? If you start applying those things, that'll start eliminating your procrastination. Right? So try to Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy and the 5-second rule, and that's by Mel Robbins. Let me see. Jasmine says my top fear is that people won't book me if I raise my prices. People will book you when they see the value. People will book you when they see that they have the need because they can't do it, they don't want to do it, and they want to shorten the time. That is your where you come in, where why stress yourself out? You don't want this frustration. You want the product, you want this done, and you want it done quickly. Hire me. I can get the job done. I can get it done right. And you'll be able to focus on your products while I'll do this for you. And then you'll be able to launch on time, do whatever you need to do without the worries of a website, or worries of your graphics, or worries of your logo. You don't have to do that. Let me do the work for you so that you can do the things that you do best. Right? So what's the best thing that can happen, Jasmine, if you raise your prices? If you raise your prices, what's the best thing that could happen for you? We need to go to the stores that keep raising their prices, but we keep going. Let me tell y'all something. Food prices keep going up. We still buying food. Gas prices is still going up. We're still buying gas. Prices are going to go up all the time. It's just life. It's going to happen, right? But if you have to raise your prices, just as long as you inform your customers that you have to raise your prices, they may be cool with that. And you are not even giving them the benefit of the doubt. They may be fine. You're saying, oh, no, they're not going to get it, because that's what you got in your head, right? They may be fine with you raising your prices. They may be perfectly fine with you raising your prices. So what I want you to do, and I'm going to look at what you got, Jasmine. What I want you to do is I want you to look at your fears and I want you to look at the worst thing and be like, you know what? That's not really so bad, because again, my good results outweighs these results that may never even happen. This may not even happen. The worst that could possibly happen may not even happen. Right? So you're getting stuck for no reason, because it's not a definite that that's going to happen. Right? So then your fear would be justified if you could say, oh yeah, that's definitely going to happen if I do that. You know what I'm saying? But you don't even know if it's going to happen. That thing doesn't even exist right now. That thing is a thought. That thing is floating in the air. It's not even stuck to you. So if it's not stuck to you, then it's not even going to happen. But if it can happen, and something beautiful and something amazing comes out of you even trying, or even if you tried and you didn't hit the mark where you wanted to, and you're like, you know what, I know where I missed the mark, I'm going to try it again, and I'm going to do it again. At least you tried. So at least you know, right? And then you have something that's for sure, right? Jasmine said, true. Worst case is that I lowball myself into a corner where I don't want to design. Facts. Best case is I'm able to provide a higher caliber service, offering more value to the client. Absolutely. 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 You don't want to stress yourself out doing $5, $10 jobs. And that's not your pricing, but I'm just saying $5, $10 jobs. And you getting a lot of those jobs, but you're not making the money. But your value for the what you're giving is way more than this $5, $10. You know what I'm saying? Your goal is to make money. Your goal, yes, your goal is to share and shine your light on the world, but your goal is also to make money. Right? We're not here just, a lot of us are doing things because we love to do it. We love to create. We love to make. But the end goal is to recoup this money that we've spent on these supplies and these products and everything else that we have, and be able to either financially support ourselves, put money back into our business, save money so that we can do things. That's the real end game of this, right? Or build community. That's the real end game. You're not doing this because you just feel like throwing your money out the window, right? And you need to keep that in your mind. You're not doing this to throw your money out the window. And you don't want the lowest prices. You want the best prices. You don't want people coming to you because you are the cheapest, right? Oh, your product is okay, but I like coming to you because they $5. If your product is $5, when they want to spend $85 on somebody else's thing, they will. Just because yours is the cheapest, they're not gonna come to you. They might come to you when they ain't got no money, but when they really want to spend that money, they're gonna go to that $85 person and be like, you know what, I'm gonna get that. Because people see value on a price. They see quality on a price. Right? Back for a minute, and let me say to y'all, I raised my prices and no one questioned it. Well, maybe two people. And once I told them why, they understood and purchased. Period. Period. So does anybody else have any other fears in here that we need to tackle? Because we're gonna tackle these fears, y'all. We're gonna tackle them. I raised my prices and no one questioned it. People want custom orders for Walmart prices. Nope. Right? What they say, champagne taste on beer budget. Mm-mm. So Latrice says it's bad enough. I'm telling you, wax went up so much. Wax went from 50 pounds to 45 pounds. And on top of them changing how much wax we have, they added more money on it. They increased the prices. Went from 65 to now 108. Raise your prices. Raise them. Do not feel bad. Do not feel guilty. Again, you're not doing this to throw your money out the window. You're doing this because you're trying to make money. You're trying to build legacy. You're trying to take care of your family. You're doing this because, or you make an extra income. This could be something that you're doing on the side. Who knows? This doesn't have to be your main thing. This could be something that you just want to do some extra money. This is vacation money. This is whatever it is. You still gonna need the money, right? And so people paying the lowest prices ain't gonna help you, especially when your prices go up. You got to move with the times. I had to tell my mom that. She was, she was like, that's what you want to charge? Yes, Ma. You call your mother Ma too? Me too. Like, Ma, I do. Let me see what else you guys are saying. So anybody else, any other fears in the room? Does everybody see that your fears, the worst case scenario is not that bad? How many of you guys agree with me? Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with me. Your worst case scenario is not really that bad. One's in the chat. And let me tell y'all something. If y'all looking for a body wash recipe, if you're looking for a great body wash recipe, Jasmine Alyssa has a great body wash recipe. She didn't put it up on her website. I mean, she did put it up on her website, but she didn't let anybody know. Her body wash is nice and thick. The scent is beautiful. It lathers amazingly. And it's on sale for it's not on sale, but she sells it for $20. Y'all go to her site and go, if y'all want a body wash, I'm telling y'all, go get that recipe. There you go, Jasmine. There you go, Jasmine. All right. So everybody, if your fears don't look that bad, if the worst case scenario don't look that bad, put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat. And I know and if I'm going with what Kay says about not being fearful about losing your home and your business, I mean your home, your business, and your finances and all of that, I get it. But then that means just your hustle got to be different. You know what I'm saying? Because your why is different. That means you got to move differently. That means you don't have time to sleep and procrastinate and wait and do all of those other things. You don't got that because that's not in your, that's not in your that's not what you're going through, right? So if that, because that is a bigger one. Everybody else, said about the pricing and the customers and the thing like that, but losing your home, that's a big threat, right? Losing your home, your finances, and your business, all of that is a big threat, right? So then that means that your hustle got to be different. You got to have a different kind of hunger in order for you to hit these streets and be successful. You got to have a different kind of hustle in order for you to make that thing work, right? So when you start to think about that and you start slacking and you start saying, oh, I don't feel like doing this today, and not because you're not feeling well, but because you just don't feel like doing it, then you need to think, but what if I lose my home? But what if I lose this? But what if I lose that? I need to get my butt up and I need to hustle. I need to do what I need to do because this is what I'm doing. This is what I want for myself. I want better for myself. So I'm going to have to hustle differently. So, I mean, with that one is a little, what's the worst that can happen is a little like, right? But that means your hustle's gotta be different. When I had no choice but to do what I was doing and no choice, when I used to, let me share something with y'all about my hustle. And my point was, I never wanted to work a 9 to 5, period, ever, because I can't work for people. I know myself. I know I can't. I wouldn't last long, right? So I don't mind doing creative things, but as far as in a structured environment, I have issues, right? So that was always going to, that was never going to be my life, and I never wanted to be in corporate. Never my life. So with my kids, I knew that I never wanted them to be in daycare. I always wanted to be able to be home when they came home. I always wanted to be able to go to everything that they did. And so a 9 to 5 was not going to allow me, or any kind of job was not going to allow me to do what I needed to do. So what allowed me to do it was for me to do the things that I needed to do. There's been times in my hustle when I used to have to go to the clubs because I used to make costumes for dancers. And I'm like, sometimes I don't feel like going for the weekend because I used to sew all day, do what I had to do with the kids when they came home, continue to sew, pack up, drive to New Jersey, go to the club, stay there till like 3, 4 in the morning, and then come drive back to Pennsylvania. So, and then sleep maybe 1 or 2 hours, get my kids ready for school, and do it all over again, right? And so there were times when I didn't know if I was going to make it, right? It was just my income. I didn't know how I was going to do it. You know what I'm saying? What am I going to do? So what I had to do was I had to hustle harder. I had to make sure when I didn't feel like it and when I was too tired to drive all the way to Jersey, I had to make sure I got my butt in my car and I went. I had to make sure I was there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for sure. Any other days of the week could have been extra, but I had to make sure I had to be there when the money days were, right? Because I knew that I had to make it's not my rent, my mortgage. I knew I had to make my mortgage and I had to pay these bills and these kids need food. You know what I'm saying? These kids need food, they need things, and they need sneakers. I knew I had to hit it. I had to hit it. I couldn't skip no days. I couldn't skip the major days. So my hustle was different, right? Because there's been times that, oh, I got the disconnection notice in the mail. I got to figure out how I'm gonna pay $300 for this or $1,000 for that. And you have to, your hustle is different. My thing was, I'm not going to run to a job because I need to benefit me for that, because now in order for the job to help me, I have to work over 40 hours or over 2 weeks in order to get what I need to pay that bill. I could go to the club and make that in a night. So I had to make sure my hustle was different, right? Because my why was different. So you guys got to make sure that your hustle matches what you need done, right? Because you know that all these things need to be done. Your hustle has to match that. You don't have time to sit there and relax and say, oh, I don't feel like it. I'm uninspired. I don't feel like doing that. I'm not productive today. You don't got that time. You don't have that time. You may have, you are going to have that time once you already establish your whole situation. But until you establish that, you don't have time. There is no days off. There is no rest right now because you're trying to build something right now. And as you're trying to build, you don't got time to sit there and say, oh, I just don't feel like it. You may, if you're sick and you don't, you know what I'm saying? Like if you don't feel good, that's one thing. But if you just don't feel like it because you lazy, that's another. You know what I'm saying? Because then how bad do you want it? And then that's another question that you need to ask, right? How bad do I actually want this? Do I really want this business to succeed? Do I really want to be successful? Then you have to ask yourself that. But your hustle got to match what you're thinking. Your hustle's got to match your surroundings. Your hustle's got to match your goals. And if you're saying you want $1 million, multi-million dollar business with a $10 hustle, you ain't gonna get there, sis. You're not gonna get there. Your hustle has to match what you need, right? So let me check in these comments and see what everybody is saying. Everybody is saying that their fears is not as bad as they think. They're not. I'm behind on the live now, but I'm back listening. Thank you, Kay. Jasmine, I'll be a right? Kay said, I'll be a testimony for you. Yes, yes, and yes. Let me see. Hey, Just Everything Glow. Just Everything Glow. Just Everything. You told me your name and I forgot. Was it Ava? Amina. Is it Amina? Good morning. Can you send the link for the Tracy? It is, yes, Jasmine. Send the link. Send the sneaky link. Thanks for the shade. You know, and it's big. It's a big shady tree, girl. It was not subtle shade. It was a big old shady tree. I am here for all the shade, all the smoke, Jasmine, all of it. Thank you. Good morning, lovely ladies. How to call. Good morning, Tanya. Good morning. So mostly everybody is saying that their fears is not as bad as they seem, right? It's not as bad as they seem. But when you think about the West, like I said, that outweighs it, right? And so now, if we know that outweighs it, now let's think about ways, because once your brain fixes on something that you want, excuse me, your brain automatically starts trying to find solutions for it. So as long as you say it's not going to work, your brain is going to continue to give you reasons why it's not going to work. But if you change your mindset to say that it is going to work, or you're looking at what's the best that could happen, now your brain is going to start finding solutions so that you can start working towards what's the best that could happen. You're going to have ideas out of nowhere. I'm telling you, you may think at that particular time, and I'm telling you because it happens to me. You may think at that particular time that it's not working, right? You say, I'm flipping the switch. I'm changing my mindset. I'm going to make sure this happens, right? And then you'll just start having ideas, and they'll just be random ideas coming from everywhere. Like you may find something in the paper. Something may just happen in your mind. You know, something that might just come into your mind. You might think of something in the shower. Somebody might say something. You're like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Once you fix your mind to doing something, a solution based. I mean, if you fix your mindset to doing what you want to do, solutions will start coming to you. Believe that. Believe that. Believe that. Right? You have products sitting on your shelf. I need money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I needed some money for blah, 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 whatever. I got products sitting on my shelf. They just sitting there. I had not old, but I had brush soaps that I had sitting around just wasting space. And I'm like, I'm going to get rid of all of this inventory because I want new stuff. I want bigger space. I'm out of the house. I'm going to get my warehouse. I am making room for expansion. I can't make room for expansion with old stuff still sitting here, cluttering up my space, taking up space. I need to be able to clearly see so I could have the vision and so I could get out and do what I need to do. Right. And so I'm like, you know what? I have all these soaps sitting in a box. I have over like 30, 30 soaps sitting in a box. Guess what? They just sitting there. So it doesn't matter what price I put on these soaps because they're just sitting there, right? Jaleesa. Sorry, Jaleesa. I done gave you a whole new name, girl. Gave you a whole new name. So they're just sitting there. I'm gonna get rid of them. Why? Because I could make money off of that. I could put that over to the side, right? That's unexpected money. That's unexpected money. So I can put those up for 2 for 20. Yes, they're $19.99 each, but when I put them up for 2 for 20, everybody's gonna be like, that soap is usually $19.99. Yes, I'm jumping on it. Them soaps sold out in an hour. In an hour. So you'll find ways to do the things that you need to do once you set out to do that thing. Once you already put it in your mind is going to find solutions for you. And all you got to do is be open and receptive, and you'll be able to start structuring out a plan. So now if you start looking at your best side of the best things that could happen side of the list, your brain is going to start to help you figure out how to get those things. So again, a lot of Yolanda was keeping up with demand. I'm having a problem keeping up with demand. Your brain is going to be like, well, you could make at least 1 or more batches a day more, or you could do this, or you could do that. Your brain is going to start figuring that out for you. But as long as you focus on the best part, the best list, the best that can happen side of the list, then you can start getting solutions to the problems, to the things that you feared. Right? So you want to make sure you're looking at that and not focused on the worst that could happen. Not saying that the worst that could happen can't happen. It can, but again, that's something that may not ever happen because it's not even there. It's a thought. It's in the air. Right? So yes, yes, and yes. Yes, yes, and yes. All right, Jasmine, put the link in this chat now because everybody wants that, girl. Just bask under it. I love shade, girl. You better not love shade. You better love the sunshine because I'm come for you, seeing you. I'm gonna come for you. Thanks so much, Jasmine. Here I come. Okay, I would like the link for the body wash too. Thank you, Tracy. Me 3. You're welcome. Jaleesa, let me make sure I put your name on because I said I did, and I put it on one of the class notes, and I don't have it right in front of me anymore, but I'm gonna put it here because I appreciate you, girl. Jaleesa. I know what I want. I just need to do what I must to get there. It's not even fear, it's time. But you know my goal, and this last 4 weeks showed me that I can have it. So just getting it together. Get it together, sister. Get it together. Very true, very true. That's Miss K. YouTube needs to stop banning links. I put it there. Oh, okay. I wonder if remember I put it there and they weren't showing up either. All right. Just do it without the which page is it on? Listen, I already know. I already know and own my raggedy behavior. That's why I dance in the shade. Because if it's true, who am I to deny it? Listen, girl, we doing better this year. We're doing better. We are doing better. We are not going to bask in that. We are not. Hello, and thank you. Yes, we are not basking in that. That's not something we're delighting in. No. Not anymore. Not anymore. Yes, everybody, hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button. If you, Jasmine, put up a post today so that they can hit get the link. Again, her body wash. I got it when I went to Dallas and I met Jasmine. I had the is it Refresh? It was green and it was minty and spearminty and it was so good. It lathers good. It even lathers well with a washcloth. And usually body washes do not lather really well with a washcloth. They usually lather well with just a buff puff or a sponge or whatever you call those mesh sponges. They only really lather really good with those, right? You lose lather in the washcloth. Hers, you have great lather with the washcloth, with the sponge, with the everything, in the house, in the car, and no, I'm just joking. But yes, she has a really good body wash. So you guys, if you want a good body wash recipe, make sure you guys go ahead and get the link from Jasmine. I think the recipe is $20, and it'll be well worth it. Well worth it. Or what you'll sell 2 body washes and make your $20 back. Think about it. So how is everybody feeling about their fears now? Do they seem a little smaller to you now? Do you feel like you can overcome them a little bit better with a little bit more confidence now? Or do you still feel like, Nikki, I don't know about that? What do you feel? And be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. Because I was going to say be honest with me, but you don't have to be honest with me. You can lie, but you're going to be lying to you too. You're going to be lying to you too if you lie to me. That's a steal too. I'm telling you. So what? 2 body washes? You got your money back. So yes, they seem a little smaller. You got your confidence. I need you guys to, let me tell y'all something. I'm so excited for everybody in this room. I'm super excited for everybody in this room to take their business to the next level and to the next level and to the next level. And I want you to be confident in your business. I want you to be confident with your pricing. I want you to be confident and always step out on faith. Always, always, always. Because you have to do it. Because again, if you don't do it, ain't nobody, again, you got to be your own superhero. And that is going to be my theme probably for the year. You got to be your own superhero. If not, that's going to be my vision board theme. But you have to come and you have to show up for yourself, because nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to save you. Deltra said they seemed much smaller. Yes, yes, yes. It's the link in my bio on IG. Put your IG in there, Jasmine, please. Thank you. Put your IG in there. Hey, Kendra. Hey, Kendra. My hustle is hard. I go hard with lack of sleep. I know you do, girl. I know you do. I know you do. Less fearful. I need someone to sell the cure in a day bar recipe. What is that? Gotta stop thinking small. Period. 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 Stop thinking small and step out of comfort. That's my problem. I don't sacrifice sleep for nothing. Jasmine said, I'm gonna get all of my sleep. I can't sleep. I have a problem. I lay there and I cannot, like, I have pockets of sleep. I don't have a good night's sleep. Because I think my mind be racing too much. I don't know how to turn it off. But yes, we are not thinking small. We are thinking big. We are thinking grand. We are thinking the biggest that we can think of. We are going to dream big and then even dream bigger. I'm going to be changing a lot of things around, a lot of the ways that I'm showing up. I had expressed this in the content class, and then that's another. I'm sending that stuff to you. But I had expressed that in the content class that I didn't realize how small I was thinking until I started listening to the things that, my self-talk. I was like, oh, I could make that. Oh, I could do my labels. Oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do that. And then I thought about, no, that's not what your gift did. That's not my zone of genius, right? That's not your zone of genius. Why would you be operating there? That's not what you're going to be doing. You're not going to be a graphic designer. So if you're not going to be a graphic designer, let somebody else do that. If you're not going to be doing websites and all that other stuff, let somebody else handle that, because that's not your lane, sis. That's not your lane. And so I had to learn. I am learning, not I had to learn, but I am learning that I cannot think small. So when I feel myself thinking small, thinking, yeah, I could do, I start saying to myself, you're thinking small, right? And so I got to move myself away from that. And I want you guys to think big. I want your goals to be realized. I want you to accomplish the things that you say that you set out. I want you to be a beast with your confidence. I want you to be a beast out there. Like, yeah, I'm gonna put this product out and it's $100. There you go. This is what you got. You know what I'm saying? And this is the value and this is why. Period. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be confident in everything that you are doing moving forward. Again, because nobody's coming to save you. You make it today, you can use it. I have to switch out. I know you have to bake it. You have to bake what? The body wash? I feel fearless. Let's go, Jaleesa. Jaleesa's fearless. Let's go. Learn today that my fears are not fears at all. They can be overcome quickly and easily. Quickly and easily. But as long as you let it become a fear, it's going to become a hindrance to your, it's going to be something that you feel stuck with. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you can't move forward because that fear seems so real. And not to say that it's not. I mean, it is not. It is not. But it feels so real. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that can happen, you know? But you got to look at it again. If you put it down, like I said, this is why I wanted you to put it on paper. So when you actually see it and you actually see what's the worst that could happen, it doesn't seem so big. You know what I'm saying? As to, you know, the good that could happen. Or, you know, it's not something that you can't work on to make better. Right. And so that's why I wanted you to put it on the paper. That's why I asked you guys to do that exercise, because once you see it, you could fix it. Right. Once you see it, you can fix it. Good morning, Connie. Good morning. That's right, Jasmine. I'm team sleep for 8 hours each night. Team no dark circles under my eyes. I pop up like a whack-a-mole. You're so stupid. Oh my God, every morning. Oh my God, you are so silly. So silly. Um, Good morning, everybody. Happy holidays. My son does all the labeling, packaging, steamers. I hired him for that. That's not my ministry. Okay. Okay. There you go. We got kids. You put them to use, not me. I got grown men, but put them to use. That's my problem, trying to master stuff for my business that I don't need to be wasting time on labels, etc. That's right. If it's going to cost you a little bit, but it's going to be the your mind is going to be able to be like, okay, I can focus on that. Let me spend a little bit on that so I'm not spending my time, right? You don't want to spend lots of time doing something that you're not going to do for the rest of your life. Right? So let somebody else do it. They can do it quicker. They know exactly what they're doing. Let them do it. I'm not saying you have to pay like no ridiculous prices in order for that to happen, but at least splurge a little couple of dollars and get it done. Then that's done, and you can do the thing. When those labels are done, guess what? You go ahead and print them. Period. Period. I don't sleep either. Nope. Not a whack-a-mole. I'm telling you, she is crazy. Jasmine, what's your name on IG? I'm popping up until the Lord says slow down. It's Hey Jasmine Alyssa. Hey Jasmine Alyssa for your recipes. For your recipe. All right, everybody. So again, I want to know moving forward, what are you going to do about your fears? What are you going to do about your fears moving forward? Because all the fears that you have, you know, listening to everybody and knowing that you guys want to start your business, you have your business, you want to grow your business, knowing those things have to happen, right? You still got to have your business. You still got to start the business. You still got to sell products. So what are you going to do about the fear? Right? Because the fear can't stay. It can't stay in order for you to be successful. The fear can't stay in order for you to get to the next level. So what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? I laugh, but I get my sleep. Okay, Miss Lois. Drown them with drown them with what's the best that can happen. Facts. Drown them with what's the best that can happen. Got you. Yes, 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 yes. And if you have to put if once you start feeling stuck and you feel that fear, pull that paper out, Start writing them things down. Start doing what's the worst and start doing what's the best and start focusing on the best. Pull that paper out if you need to. Balance the work, be consistent, stay accountable, and keep building. Got you. Starving fear, feeding faith, baby. Feed it, Jasmine. Feed it. Step over the fear and move forward. Come on. Come on, everybody. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. What are you going to do moving forward? If you know you want success, you can't allow fear to stop you. Because your products are not going to sell themselves. Your business is not going to show up for itself. Your business is not going to say, you know what? Let me go out there and represent for you. Your business ain't going to do that. You got to do that. I'm going to make more inventory. Got it. Have a meeting with my imaginary employees and tell them to get it together. Get it together. Yes. 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 Yes, indeed. What are we doing? What are we doing? How are we showing up for ourselves? Because if you don't, you letting yourself down. If your business doesn't succeed because your lack of trying, you let yourself down. Right? Because, and would you intentionally let yourself down? Would you intentionally fail yourself? Why would you do that? Why would you do such a thing? Why would you do that? So I want you guys to keep that in mind. You are not here to sabotage yourself. You want to succeed, you will succeed. So you want to make sure that you do all the things that you can so that you will get all the things that you set out to get. Right? Because they're not going to come. They're not going to get themselves. You got to go get them. That's why it's called go get them. No, you got to go get them yourself. Right? Again, nobody is coming to save you. Put that on a post-it, put it on your mirror, put it on your bathroom, put it on your refrigerator, put it wherever, put it in your wallet. Nobody is coming to save you. You must be your own superhero. Period. You could be the icing on the cake. You could even do that, but you are going to save yourself. You're going to save yourself. Mine is a little different. However, I have to remember fear and worry. I have to remember fear and worry can't occupy the same space, right? Have to trust God and push harder. What does push stand for, sis? What does push stand for, sis? Everybody said one time, one band, one sound. Put in the chat. What does push stand for? What does push stand for, y'all? Come on. Somebody put it in the chat. Somebody put it in the chat. Somebody put it in the chat. And when you do that, make sure your work is behind it. Make sure your work is behind it because it ain't going to happen if you don't do the work. Right? We said, I think Kay said it last night. Yeah, I mean, yesterday. Faith without works is dead. And that's facts. And that's facts. Only Jesus saves. He gave you the gift, so do something before someone else snatches it. Period. Pray until something happens. Pray until something happens. Everybody say that to yourself 3 times. Pray until something happens. I can't sleep. My condition and my mom won't let me. You got a busy mind. You got a busy mind, but don't do it so much where you can't till you break down, because we can't have you breaking down, sis. We can't have you breaking down. I had a whole tomorrow's class. I mean tomorrow's live. It's all about your light. Today in my Bible app, it was all about shining your light. And that is what today, this was what today was going to be about, but we did the fear, but tomorrow's going to fit right in with this one, with the shining your light. So I'm going to do this one tomorrow. And I just wanted to share something that Pastor Flower said, because that's the guy who was talking about the quote of the day. I mean, the verse of the day. And the verse of the day was, I'm not even going to go into that because I'm used tomorrow. But I'm going to tell you right now. Matthew chapter 5, verse 14, you are the light of the world. A city is set on a hill, can't be hidden. And then verse 16, let your good deeds shine out for all to see so that everyone will praise your heavenly Father. So Pastor Flower said, Whenever purpose is unknown, abuse is imminent. Take that with y'all today. Whenever purpose is unknown, abuse is imminent. Fine. It's Terry, okay? Tanya's a mess. She's and she on it today. She on it today. Take that with y'all today. Whenever purpose is unknown, abuse is imminent. Know your purpose. You are here to shine your light on the world. That's your purpose. That's your gift. That's your gift. And abuse isn't always physical. Abuse isn't always, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think about it. How are you abusing yourself? How are you abusing your life? By not shining it, by hiding it, by dimming it, by not showing up in the world, by not showing your products, by not giving out your, showing your business, by not doing the things, by not giving this product out or making this product or showing up to these events or doing this thing or showing up on social media. How are you abusing your lights and not showing up? God gave you a gift. He gave you this light. Use it. Don't dim it. Don't dim your light. And we are going to end on that note. And the devotional was really good too, girl. Yes, 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 yes. So yes, that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow, because that will go hand in hand with what we did today. Do not dim your light. Do not for anybody. Kay, I'm going to come over and we are just going to spin and laugh. Maybe do a dance. Yes, yes, and yes. Spend some time with each other. All right, you guys. So did you guys enjoy the live today? I'm so glad that everybody joined us today. And I will definitely be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. At 9 a.m. And I am going to, I don't have any homework. That was just an assignment that I wanted you to do for today. Yesterday. I am going to send out the emails. I was having a problem sending out the emails to the people that attended the class because it wasn't allowing me to do it as a bulk thing. So I am going to try that today, and I will keep you guys posted. If anything, I will create a Facebook group and I will put all that information over into the Facebook group, and it'll be a private little Facebook group and da 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 da. All right, you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the live, and I want you guys to have an amazing and productive day. And stop dimming your light. Stop dimming your lights. All right, y'all. So y'all have an amazing day. Peace out.